Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is the MBTI personality type assessment of Gwyneth Paltrow. But before we dive into this topic, I would like to underline something about my book. It is written from a health science point of view, so we'll be looking at the anatomy, physiology, brain dominance, and so forth of the 16 MBTI personality types. And based on this information, you can identify your own type. And since I advocate that like attract like, then you can determine the best romantic partner for you long term. So let's go back to the topic at hand. If we look at the 16 MBTI personality types, they can be grouped into four main ones. The first ones are sensor judgers, the second sensor perceivers, the third intuitive thinkers, and the last one intuitive feelers. To me, Gwyneth Paltrow is a sensor perceiver, and I will explain why. I have some notes on screen so I don't miss anything. Gwyneth Kate Paltrow Falchuk is an American actress and businesswoman. She was born on September 27th, 1972 in Los Angeles. She's right now 50 years old. Paltrow's father was Jewish while her mother is Christian. Her father died at the age of 58 of pneumonia after battling throat cancer. She was profoundly affected by his death because they were very close. She has a younger brother named Jake, and her godfather is director Steven Spielberg. Paltrow is close to her family and really enjoys family gatherings. She attended an all-girl private school in Manhattan, and at age 15, she spent a year as an exchange student and learned to speak Spanish. She also is conversant in French, as her family frequently traveled to the south of France throughout her childhood. Later on, she studied art history at the University of California, Santa Barbara, before dropping out to act. Some of her well-known movies are Seven, Emma, Sliding Doors, A Perfect Murder, Shakespeare in Love, for which she won several awards, including an Academy Award for Best Actress. She is the recipient of various accolades, including an Academy Award, a Golden Globe Award, and a Primetime Emmy Award. In terms of her philanthropic work, Paltrow is a Save the Children Artist Ambassador, raising awareness about World Pneumonia Day. She's on the board of the Robin Hood Foundation, a charitable organization that works to alleviate poverty in New York City. Gwyneth supports the Democratic Party, for example, fundraising for Barack Obama. In terms of her personal life, Paltrow became engaged at the age of 24 to actor Brad Pitt, whom she dated from 1994 to 1997. According to Paltrow, they called off the engagement because she was not ready for marriage. In 1997, she dated Ben Affleck and they broke up in 2000. Paltrow then met Chris Martin of the British band Coldplay. They married in 2003 and they have two children together, Apple and Moses. Unfortunately, they divorced in 2016. In 2018, Paltrow married Brad Falchuk, a producer. In terms of her other projects, beginning in 1995, Paltrow has been the face of Estee Lauder's Pleasures perfume. She was previously the face of the American fashion brand Coach, and she's the founder and CEO of the lifestyle company Goop and has authored several cookbooks. Her current net worth is about $200 million US dollars. If we look at Gwyneth Paltrow's life trajectory, it is typical of sensor perceivers. So at an early age, she showed interest in acting. Obviously, her mother is a rather well-known actress, so she saw her mother perform, and she was drawn to that naturally. And she was naturally gifted, so her parents saw this tendency very early on. And actually, Gwyneth Paltrow said that in school, if a subject did not interest her, she would not invest herself. So you'll see that with sensor perceivers. They have a short attention span, and unless something is obviously captivating, you won't be able to make them, invest time or energy into it. So in other words, after finishing high school, she did do 1 year of college because her parents wanted her to have something to fall back on. But she decided after 1 year to drop off, and she got her parents' blessing to pursue an acting career. But Gwyneth Paltrow's parents didn't want to spoil her, so although they supported her decision to drop out of college after 1 year, they did tell her that she has to carve her own path. So they wanted her to have good work ethic. So when she moved out of her parents' house and she went to New York to go to auditions, they told her that yes, we can pay your rent, but everything else you have to pay out of your pocket. So she had to, find odd jobs and go to a number of auditions. And so, in other words, to really sort of like understand the struggle of becoming an actress. Now, she was really lucky because earlier on, I mean, within like a year or two, she was getting, good jobs. And before you know it, within like 5 or 6 years, she was opening movies. And also the fact that, she's the goddaughter of Steven Spielberg, which really helps. So I would say that Gwyneth Paltrow has been really fortunate, but also, I mean, she is rather talented. So I think that being from a well-known family in terms of in the industry, yes, opens the door, but she still needs to prove that she has what it takes to draw an audience and also perform. And the other interesting aspect when it comes to Gwyneth Paltrow is that she did not go to an extended sort of like a training to become an actress. And also she sings. She also seems to be able to dance as well, based on the different projects that she took on. So in other words, she is able to morph. And the other interesting aspect when it comes to sense perceivers is their ability to mimic. So she speaks, rather good French, and also she also speaks Spanish. So that gives her versatility that way. Now, in other words, I would say that Gwyneth Paltrow is a typical sensor perceiver in that sense. Now, the other aspect is whether Gwyneth Paltrow is a feminine versus masculine energy. I would say that she's most likely a feminine energy. So in other words, she has introverted feeling either as her first or second function stack. And when we see how she behaves, there's a softness to her. She tends to have empathy. And the other point also, she's very physically affectionate with her children, even with her family members. Like she said that she liked to spend time with them. She was saying how close she is with her father, her grandfather as well. So when you see someone who's very sort of like expressive that way and likes to be physically close to their friends and family, this is a person who's most likely right brain dominant, because these are people who put a lot of emphasis on their relationships. Now, whether or not Gwyneth Paltrow is an introvert or extrovert, I would lean more towards being an extrovert, in the sense that she mentioned that she likes to have a lot of big family gatherings to entertain people. And you don't see that with a person who's an introvert. Usually an introvert would like to spend time alone or with one or the two other family members. But if she feels energized by that, is most likely an extrovert. And although, yes, she kept, her close family members out of the limelight, so her children and her husband, but I'd say overall she's someone who seems rather comfortable on the red carpet, and she likes also to interact with the public. So in other words, she's someone who doesn't seem as sort of awkward compared to people who are true introverts. So I would say that Gwyneth Paltrow is most likely an ESFP. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this MBTI personality type assessment by commenting below. If you like this video, if you learned something, please click on the like button. Also remember to click on the notification bell to be notified of other videos I'm going to be making. Subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.